Now to discuss markets and the road ahead are Sharmila Joshi of sharmilajoshi.com and Amisha Vora, Joint Managing Director at Prabhudas Leeladhar. It's an all-women's panel. Thank you so much for joining me, Amisha and Sharmila. It's great to have you both together. Amisha, I'm going to start off with you. Today, for a large part of the day, we thought it would be a third day of gains as far as the markets are concerned. We actually saw that coming off, and we were just discussing, Sharmila and I, on the futures and options side, it didn't seem that there was much conviction on the next leg of rise. What are you making of the market internals?
So I think, markets were in a pretty oversold kind of a zone and had a very straight fall from 8,900, 9,000 level right till 8,000. So I think there was at that level a bit of short covering, which gave a good respite, led by, of course, some figures domestically and some news globally. But I still think that the internals are not as strong. Maybe they are a little weak, and markets should continue to be in a narrow range and spend quite some time, maybe a couple of months or more, before taking a fresh new trajectory.
One of the big triggers for the sell-off that we saw was the big sell orders coming from FIs. Has that abated? Because the last couple of numbers seem to be somewhat positive, though the up move didn't come on very good volumes. So what are you reading in terms of institutional activity?
So I think that the real upsetting factor which happened, apart from whatever was happening in earnings season domestically here in India, was the fact that Chinese markets started doing, unexpectedly very, very well. And most of the fund managers globally who were very underweight started feeling the pinch of it, and they had to probably change a bit of their weightage, which is what led to some selling here, apart from some of the other factors, of course. And I think that has been continuing a bit more. So the fund flow on a very aggressive basis, it's not been negative, while at the same time, we continue to remain, global fund managers continue to remain overweight on India, which shows their positive stance, but at the same time, their temporary inability to pour in huge money in India further. And I think that is what is also to some extent hurting us in terms of very tepid, slow FI flows.
Right. As long as they're not the view coming in from an insurance company investing in the markets. But Amisha, if I can get you in here, automobiles is an interesting play because from four-wheelers, the focus now seems to be shifting back to the two-wheelers. Hero was a big winner today. Bajaj has been accumulating, though it corrected today. What's your fundamental call on the auto sector?
So I think it's a pure domestic consumption story, but two-wheelers, there are two, ways to look at it. One is the stock had corrected or had not participated in earlier rally, and they have been now catching up as the selling seems to have been over. But on the ground, particularly for two-wheelers, the demand outlook continues to remain extremely sluggish. And the way farm income and rural income is impacted by this unseasonal monsoon, I think that they will be in either mild negative territory of growth or very low single digit kind of a growth till September. So I feel, of course, they have run up a bit, but beyond and somewhere around this, they will continue to be range bound. The other couple of players within the automobile, for example, passenger vehicle, where the traction still continues to be good on the back of some new models being launched, and particularly by Maruti. So that continues to look interesting, but of course the stock mostly captures a lot of things. And tractors continues to be a bleeding spot, and I think that will continue to be so, maybe, till we see the onset of a very stable, good monsoon, because farm income and rural income is very badly impacted.
Welcome back. You're watching Markets Rewind. Still with me, Amisha Vora and Sharmila Joshi. Just to recap the markets, we did see a correction, a sharp correction in the markets towards the end of trade, but there were pockets which saw a lot of activity, and one such was metals, with Vedanta among the top gainers on the Nifty, and Tata Steel also up ahead of the numbers which come out tomorrow. Amisha, I'm going to start by asking you about Tata Steel. Given the kind of news flow we've had from the company in terms of write-offs, in terms of the UK operations being so stressed, what are you expecting from this company, and is there any reason why metal should be going up at this point?
So, from the bottom prices globally, metals has been up, iron ore has been up, metals has been up 10-15%. That could be one small trigger, but overall the steel sector as such continues to be in stress. There could be another small trigger which could be in the form of their iron ore mining, starting, and that's why helping. But overall, if you ask me, the steel sector globally is in extreme stress. Domestically also, there is volume growth which is missing. Prices are under a lot of pressure because of imports from earlier China, now Russia. So overall, I don't see any much silver lining, except that, sometimes there is bottom fishing, some small trading which keeps happening. So that's what must be the activity, I would think.
Share stocks have been in focus. Any theme-based ideas that you're working around which you find attractive at the current valuations?
So one thing which we think, in entire this slowdown kind of a situation, couple of places where we are seeing some traction building up is one, the roadside, where we think over next 2 to 3 months, almost 40 to 45,000 crores worth of tenders for road on EPC, etc. will come. Second place where we think traction is building up is in transmission distribution side of the business, across power grid, states. I think big amount of orders have come and are likely to continue to come. And both these spaces, because of the balance sheet constraint, the competition is limited. So this space, I think, seems one of the first to take off. Within that, we like KC International quite a lot. We think it's a sizable company with close to about $1.5 billion kind of a top line, where we think margins as well as top line growth will be accompanied by margin improvement. So that one continues to look very interesting to us.
That's interesting, because there were also reports that many of these companies, infrastructure companies, have also managed to restructure loans, Amisha, under the 525 scheme, and many of these stocks were up. So our balance sheet starting to look that much better because they've been so badly hit and so badly off in terms of valuations.
They have done restructuring, but as what I understand, banks, even with those restructured accounts, are very, very cautious in giving them fresh beaches, in bank guarantees, in giving them working capital limits. They are probably asking for a good amount of collateral, which is making them, survive for some time, but the growth still becomes little difficult. So injection of equity will be very critical. So right now we continue to focus on some of the okay balance sheets where there are no much strains, and we still think that probably the strenuous balance sheets will take a little more time to come out of the problem. Sure. Unless the right amount of equity is injected, things will be difficult to turn around.
Okay. Sharmila, good word. Last questions to both of you, and very quickly. Amisha, what is the next trigger for the markets? Is it that possible rate cut in June, or is that factored in? What could be the next, directional move coming from?
So I think some of the incremental factors which can probably help market, of course, includes the rate cut. Beyond that, a good starting of monsoon and a well spread out monsoon, and above all, because at the moment in economy, if anybody has got power to spend, that's government spending, be it center or state. So very quick, timely and efficient ordering of some of these roads, infrastructure, transmission, whatever, all these sector projects will be a very critical factor to watch to see how, things start percolating down to the last mile, there is action on the ground, and the multiplier impact of that starts building in. So government spending will be the third important point apart from rate cut and monsoon, which will be watched at.
Sharmila, lots to watch out for, lots of risks also about how the monsoons will pan out. Amisha and Sharmila, thanks so much for joining us. But as we leave you, we also